Nothing like volunteers on the outside of the fence. Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Saturday, August 13th. You know what that means. We're going to do a quick review of this garden, then we're going to go to you and celebrate what's going on in your garden. And if you're new to my channel, you're in for a real treat. We reserve Saturdays to celebrate our friends and neighbors around the world and what they're doing in their gardens. Come along with me and we'll take a look at a few things in this garden, then we're going to go to you. If you were with us yesterday, we released 7,500 ladybugs, and they are definitely going to work. The newest peas we planted, and beets have sprouted nicely. It's a decent little amaranth patch. The corn we succession planted in our square foot garden, and our second planting of corn, got nice ears all over it. We should be able to harvest that pretty soon. The kale is doing really well, but the beets and the carrots, I'm telling you, we got critters that really like beets and carrots as much as I do. They just disappeared overnight. As long as you plant a really nice variety of things, you're always going to have something in the garden. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our friends and neighbors and see what they have going on in their gardens. Nora, thank you for starting us off this week with more of your incredible landscape and colors. You always do such a nice job, and everything looks vibrant and alive. Thank you again, Nora. Leon heavily pruned one of his figs, and to answer the question, we are growing fruit, not leaves. This is his 5th harvest off the same fig. I believe the answer is yes. Thank you, Leon. Virginia went to great lengths to save this melon from the gopher, and it was well worth the effort. Thank you, Virginia. This is beautiful. Speaking of melons, Art, you may be onto something. The melon I cut the other day came from your seeds, but the flesh was white and it had a cantaloupe cucumber flavor. It was still pretty good, but the flesh of yours is orange and you say it's a cantaloupe watermelon flavor. They may be cross-pollinated, but those watermelons look right. Art, it looks like you have some squash ready to go into the garden. Are you sure you have any room? Even with that harvest, you're going to have to take something out or make a bigger bed. And of course, just for fun, Art went and quartered a pineapple top. All 4 pieces rooted. Thank you, Art. This is awesome. Weren't those fantastic? Leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their gardens. You know, we gain inspiration and ideas from each other. I think this thing's just about ready to be harvested. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more. Mike and Linda wanted to report the fantastic recovery from the deer that ate the tops off almost everything. However, your roots must have been very strong in that deep mulch. It is looking awesome. Can't wait to see the harvest. Thank you. Denise had her share of the small critters this year. However, ladybugs are helping. Her garden security keeps the large critters away. Denise is still getting a good harvest of peppers, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, and the okra is just now coming on strong. And that shoe rack full of onions, that is incredible. Thank you, Denise. Walter's string trellis tomato cage produced well throughout the heat. After some pruning of the bottoms, it opened it up for the second crop of cucumbers, and the tomatoes can sprawl across the top of his enclosure. That will make harvesting round 2 of the late summer production easy. Ingenious, Walter. Your bucket peppers are looking awesome. And I can't believe your lotus is still blooming. Great job and thank you. I'm simply amazed at the diversity and the creativity of our friends and neighbors. It motivates me to come out here every day. Now our giant sweet potato, you know, the one we planted without roots, to see if we'd get another giant sweet potato from a giant sweet potato slip. Say that 3 times. If that joke's getting old, leave a comment down below and let me know. Still gonna be a couple months before we go ahead and start digging these. But it's progressing nicely. Our peanut patch is doing really well. We're getting pretty close to being able to start harvesting these. We'll see what we get there. Got a nice zucchini that rebounded from the squash bugs. Our hot pepper is so loaded with fruit that it's kind of sagging a little bit. Looks like some of these are almost starting to turn. We're going to be ready to harvest these pretty quick too. And they're going to be hot. And let's go ahead and look at a couple more of our friends and neighbors. Let's welcome Nathan, a new contributor. Nathan sent a few photos of his deep mulch garden. Looking good, Nathan. Thank you and welcome. Larry had a pretty good week from his garden, even though he said it was 1,000,000 degrees. Well, almost 1,000,000 degrees. Thank you for sharing, Larry. This looks tasty. Let's also welcome Kelly, a new contributor. In between the deer visiting Kelly's raised beds, she had to replant some, but managed to save some. Thank you for sharing and welcome. Valerie, sure, you're going to start us off by making us hungry? Well, that just reminds us why we do this. Because it tastes good. Your cantaloupe and watermelon are coming along nicely. And here is proof positive that you can produce a nice haul of sweet potatoes in a container in your backyard in town. That is wonderful. The lettuce that you've grown from seeds are really coming into their own. I can't wait to see what kind of flower you get. Valerie, thank you. And your garden is simply blessed. I invite you to become part of this community. It's just a loose-knit community of people that like to get their hands dirty and grow things that taste good. Some of our members pop in once in a while. Some of them pop in all the time. We'd love to see what's going on in your garden. This is where we get ideas, and this is where we motivate each other. You can do this too, and you'd be surprised how many people you'd influence if you just shared what's going on in your garden. All you have to do is email me at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. And I do invite you to join us. You were here with me when we did the extreme pruning. All it did is fire up the growth on the top. We got tons of baby fruit starting. These are well past the top of the wire. We still got a couple months before it's going to freeze. You can do this too. It's pretty simple. I'm going to put in a squash everywhere. This plant seems to have overcome the squash bugs. The more diverse you can make your garden, the more you can confuse the bugs, and the more chance you are to get something, if not a lot. Aren't those incredible? And I do want to thank our new contributors. Welcome to the garden. Welcome to this community. When I started this journey, the difficulties hadn't quite started across the world, and I thought folks might be interested in seeing a way to garden without having to weed all summer long. I stumbled across deep mulch, no-till, and I kind of mixed it up and did my own thing on it, and it seemed to be working for me pretty well. It also seems like it's resonated with quite a few people. Saturday episodes are just a tribute to what a few of our friends and neighbors have done at their house. Because of your support, this has turned into a real channel. We're on the verge of 10,000 subscribers. I can't even express how much your support has meant to me over the last 2 years. And these Saturday videos have been a labor of love for me. And I am taking advantage of a few of the YouTube tools. There's some links. If you clicked on them, it'd help me out. If you don't click on them, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I'm gonna continue to do this, try to bring you as much information as I can, show you the ups and downs in my garden, and I hope that information is helpful to you. There. It's turning to blush. That's going to be another 1-pounder. You can do this too. The deep mulch is very simple. I encourage you to try it. But until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.